Okay, good afternoon. Welcome to the installment billing webinar. My name is Sarah. I'll be hosting this webinar today. I just have a couple of things to go through before we get started. First of all, you have noticed your phones are muted. This is just to minimize background noise throughout the presentation. So if you do have any questions for me, please use the chat box or the Q&A box. You can find both of those by hovering your mouse at the top of the screen. A toolbar should pop down, and then you should be able to either click on chat or Q&A. I will try to answer all questions as I see them, but I might have to save some for the end, just depending on where we're at in the presentation. And also, a copy of this session is actually being recorded right now, so it will be available in PDF version as well as a video on the jonassupport.com website. So that's jonassupport.com under Resources and Training. There's a video library. There's also a continuing education section. Continuing education is where you signed up for this webinar, also where the PDF is at the very bottom. The video library, of course, is where the video will be, and typically it takes about 3 to 4 days to get it uploaded to the website, so just wait till the end of the week until you're looking for it. So what to expect? This webinar is just to enhance your knowledge of Jonas. It's not to be taken in place of formal training. It's more just a general overview, tips, tricks, and ideas. We use this slide on every webinar, so the approximate 50 minutes of information is actually not correct for this particular presentation. Installment billing is a small portion of the club management module, so my estimation probably will just be under half an hour. So lots of attempts for question and answer. So as an overview, what is installment billing? The installment billing module provides the ability to handle multiple year charges. So these are things like initiation fees, assessments, bonds loaned out from the club. And you can bill your members monthly, quarterly, annually, or you can actually customize your plan and schedule the payments as you need to. So this allows you to do a bunch of different revenue processing in one time, so you don't have to choose between initiation, entrance, capital assessments, bonds. You can have all different types running at the same time under the installment billing module with different GLs for each one. So what we'll do is we'll go through some of the setups first. We'll go through the processing, how to bill it, and then we'll look at some of the reports that are available to you. So the first thing you need when you're setting up your installment billing module are installment types. And you can find this under club management, installment billing, and then installment types. They're completely user-defined, so you won't find any in there that are preset by Jonas. You make them up right from scratch. And here's where you'll set up the different, so the entrance fees, the initiations, the bonds, etc. What you need here is an installment type code and a description, and the description is just going to be the full name of what you're billing. And then it's going to ask you for some GLs. So under the on initial sign up section, you have the option to put in the debit and the credit. So this is when you're actually putting a member in the system and assigning them to the installment billing. You haven't billed them anything yet, but you want to account for the long-term receivable and the deferred revenue. So typically the debit side of it will be the long-term receivable, and the credit will be the deferred revenue. So both of these should be balance sheet accounts. When it's billed, so the when billed section contains a couple more spots for GL because you're going to do an initial debit and credit. So when you're billing, you're actually putting the charge on the member's account, so it should go to your member receivables. And at that time as well, you'll want to recognize it as revenue, so it should credit some sort of income account. The program has the ability to charge interest, so when you're billing, where should the interest revenue go if it's a different GL account than the initiation fee revenue in this example? Then you have two options at the bottom, the debit and credit. Since we put money into a deferred initiation fee receivable account, what we'll want to do is reverse that now. So the debit will now be deferred initiation fees, and the credit will be initiation fee receivable, which reverses what we did on the initial sign-up. So in this example, we've set up a member to be billed, say, $100,000 over 25 years. When we sign them up, that makes the debit to initiation fee receivable and the credit to deferred initiation fees. When I bill them, maybe I'm billing them monthly, when I do their first month of billing, a debit entry will be made to my accounts receivable because it's billing them, it's on the account. A credit will be made to both my interest income and my initiation fee income account. But then I need to get that money off of my balance sheet because now that portion of it has been billed. So the portion that you're billing will come out of deferred initiation fees and out of initiation fee receivable, reversing that small portion of the $100,000 that was put into my balance sheet. So once you have your installment billing type set up, you have a couple of different ways to bill members. The first option on the menu is installment billing agreements. So this links installment billing types to members, and it lets you set up the amortization schedule. Set up original amounts takes what you've linked and applies the amount of the agreement to the member account as well as the general ledger accounts. So if you are going that route, you do have to go to both of those options. Installment billing agreements first to set up the amortization schedule, and then set up original amounts to actually put the amount on the member's account that they are owed. Or in one of our more recent versions, there's actually a program release called Set Up Amount and Assign Agreement, and it just combines those two things into one program. So we're going to go through all three. We'll start with the newest one, the Set Up Amount and Assign Agreement. So this is under Club Management, Installment Billing, and then Set Up Amount and Assign Agreement. What you'll do is choose your club, choose the type of installment, so what you just created with those GLs, and then give it an agreement number. The agreement number can be anything. You can make all of your, say, initiation fees agreement 2, entrance fees agreement 3, bonds agreement 4 if you'd like. It's just a way to keep track of it if a member has multiple. Then you'll put in a date of record, and this is the date of record for the balance sheet entry, those initial accounts. Then you'll put in the original amount. So the original amount is the total of what the member is going to be billed over the set period of time. You can actually assign multiple members here, so it doesn't have to be just one person. If you have a big batch of members who have joined, you can assign them all in one go, just by keying in the member code or using that magnifying glass to find the member. You can also import them from a CSV file. Once you've set up that initial screen, go up to the top right, click on Schedule, and that will take you to the smaller screen that you can see in the bottom right of your computer. The schedule is asking you, when is this person getting billed, how much are they getting billed, and what's the interest. So along the left-hand side of the schedule screen, you'll put in your start date, put in the duration of the loan, and you can do it in months or in years, and put in the interest rate if there is an interest rate involved. Key in the amounts, so see where it has all the months listed. This goes by year, so you'll have to do each year. And just key in the amounts monthly, quarterly, yearly, or customized schedule that they're to get billed. You can copy this schedule from one year to another. If it's an annual schedule, you can click on A Sched. Both of those options are up in the top right. So once you've set up 2017, if it's going to be the same for the next, say, 25 years, you can copy it instead of having to do that for 25 years worth. If you don't like that all-in-one feature, you can do it the original way, which is the two-step bill installment agreements. What this does is it separates those two steps. So first you would go into the member's account, attach the type to the account, and then set up the schedule. And then you would go into set up original amounts and put in how much the actual installment agreement is worth. So it's two steps. We don't go over it as much in this presentation because, of course, it's always easier to combine it into one. But basically what you would see on those screens are this initial section as set up original agreement types, and then you would set up the schedule as well. Then you would put in the original amount on the second screen. This is what actually makes the balance sheet journal entry posting. So if you are going to do it that way, make sure you're previewing as well. So now that it's on the member's account, what you can do is go ahead and choose Bill Installment Agreements. You can bill for one or more members 1 month at a time. So what that means is you'll choose your club, and then you're choosing what month to bill. So if you remember on the schedule screen, everything was scheduled by month. This is where that really comes into play because you have to make sure you're choosing the correct month to bill. This posts the charge to the member's account so they can see it on their statement, and it makes those journal entry postings to take it off of your balance sheet and put it into, of course, your members' receivables as well as your income accounts. You can bill by installment type, you can bill by cycle billing, you can bill by member, and you can also just do all agreement types at one time if you'd like. This is what the audit trail will look like when you bill your installment agreements. So it gives you a report of the member number, the name, gives you the installment billing code and the type, as well as the amount. And then down below you can see my GL summary here. So I have my entry to member receivables and initiation fees, the income account, and then in the middle two lines I have my taking it off of my balance sheet out of that initiation fee receivable and out of the deferred initiation fees. So let's get into some of the reporting options you have for installment billing. So the first one is the member status report. This groups by installment billing type, gives you the member, the amount they're set up for, the amount they've been billed to date, and the balance they have outstanding, as well as giving you a total per type and a total for your whole membership. Then you have the revenue projection report, and this just gives you all of the scheduled amounts. So gives you the full original amount of the agreement, gives you the total, and then it tells you by month what you should be expecting in revenue from each member. If a member leaves the club, or if you are taking a member out of their installment billing agreement, you can process the remaining amount as a credit. So what you'll do is go to Club Management, Installment Billing, and then set up original amounts. Choose the member, choose the installment type, and then choose the same agreement number that it was set up under. Your description could be member resigned or member bought out, and then the amount will just be the credit amount of whatever they have remaining. This will pull it out of the GLs, the accounts receivable, the initiation fees receivable, as well as the deferred revenue, and it will clear the member from any future billings. Once an agreement is completely paid off, you can actually delete them from the member accounts using the Delete Billing Agreements menu option. So that's Club Management, Installment Billing, and then Delete Billing Agreement. You'll choose your club. You can do this by member, you can do this by date, or you can do it for everything that's expired. Preview it, and then hit Update, and this will clear anything that's been fully paid off of member accounts so they don't clutter up your report with those zeros amount owing. And I did warn you this was a quick presentation. That is all the material I have for you today. I'm going to go ahead and unmute the phones if anyone has any questions for me at this time.